Hi everyone. So I've been asked to do another version of Guadalupe, which seems to be becoming my niche right now. I actually do enjoy making those, even though they are very detailed and they're a little bit of hard work. But what is my process for looking and picking out the piece of wood that I'm going to use? Let's walk through that process together. Now, every board is actually different, and what I've done here is I laid out a couple of or three different pieces of wood that I am going through the selection process to figure out whether or not it's going to work. Now, as you can tell, this one here, not so good, because if you can see, it has a lot of knots. Now, the knots are actually where the branches come from the tree. You know, every branch creates this little, we call them knots, you know, in the wood world. But as you can see, this one is very knotty. So anywho, so the challenge with the knots is the fact that as you try to carve anything through it, it's going to be very hard, because you know, those knots are become super hard to go through. It's doable, but I stand a chance of breaking bits, and I don't want to do that. Now, as you can see, also for this particular one, since I'm actually trying to make this fit, it's really not going to work for me, because it doesn't have enough space or gaps in between the knots for me to use to be able to carve it. This other guy here, I could probably do it here in between the middle, but then that means that I have to cut the whole board out, and it's not going to quite work for me, just because of the fact that it's so far deep. So what I prefer to look for, it's something more like this, where there's plenty of space, there's a lot of gap in between the knots, and it makes it a little bit easier for me to cut a few pieces of this so that I can use it for my carvings. And as you can see, this here, this is perfect. So I think I'm going to go ahead and cut this one from the top. Starting from the top, I'll probably leave a little bit of a gap at the top just to make sure that it's going to fit, and I'm going to be able to sand it down a little bit. Of course, this wood needs to be prepared as well, because of the fact that it does have a little bit of a grain issue there, or sawboard from where it was actually cut. The other thing that I look for as well, or I try to avoid as much as I can, is the closed gaps in between the different grain, because the more grains, these little grains here, they're actually a little tough to go through with my little Dremel as well. So I try to find the boards that actually have a little bit of a wider gap in between the grains. Anywho, that's my process. Thank you for watching.